In the heart of a tranquil village, life flowed like the gentle stream that wound its way through the fields. The sun rose each day, casting warm light upon the thatched roofs and the smiling faces of its inhabitants. Yet beneath this serene surface, a tempest brewed, hidden from the eyes of those who lived in the embrace of tradition and community. The tale of two brothers, Adil and Rayhan, loomed like a dark shadow over the village, a story woven with threads of envy, betrayal, and the consequences that followed. Adil, the elder brother, was a figure of admiration. He had inherited their father's land, a sprawling expanse that flourished under his care. The villagers often gathered to sing his praises, recounting tales of his generosity, kindness, and unwavering support for those in need. He was the one who organized festivals, helped the sick, and provided for the poor. In Adil's presence, laughter echoed and warmth radiated. Yet, in the shadows of his success lurked Rayhan, the younger brother, who felt the weight of his siblings' achievements pressing down upon him like an unyielding stone. Rayhan watched the villagers celebrate Adil, their eyes shining with admiration and affection, and with every cheer that rang out, a knot of bitterness tightened in his chest. He felt invisible, a mere whisper in the grand narrative of their lives. The love and respect that flowed effortlessly to Adil felt like a cruel joke to Rayhan, who yearned for recognition and worth. He muttered to himself, his voice laced with venom, "Everyone adores him. No one sees how he controls everything. But that will change, soon." The seeds of jealousy took root in Rayhan's heart, and he found himself spiraling into darkness. The simmering resentment reached a boiling point one fateful evening. The air was thick with tension as the brothers faced each other in their modest home. Adil, frustrated by Rayhan's constant complaints, shouted, "You always complain, Rayhan. I have done nothing but provide for you. You should be grateful." The words struck Rayhan like a slap, igniting a firestorm of fury within him. "Grateful? For what? Living in your shadow? You took everything from me, but not for long. You will regret this, Adil." The argument echoed through the village, a harbinger of the chaos that was to follow. In the depths of his despair, Rayhan sought the counsel of a feared sorcerer who dwelled on the outskirts of the village. The sorcerer, with his hollow eyes that seemed to hold the weight of countless souls, listened to Rayhan's tale of woe and envy. A twisted smile crept across his face as he offered a solution, a small pouch filled with dark powder. "Sprinkle this where he walks. Soon his world will crumble, and he will beg for mercy," the sorcerer whispered, sealing Rayhan's fate with a promise that danced dangerously close to the edge of morality. With the pouch clutched tightly in his hand, Rayhan returned to the village, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. He felt powerful, a puppeteer ready to pull the strings of his brother's fate. Days passed, and as the sun set each evening, Adil's life began to unravel. His once thriving crops withered overnight, turning from lush green to a brittle brown. The cattle, once healthy and robust, fell ill, their eyes clouded with suffering. But the true horror was yet to come. Adil's wife, Zoya, began to change. Each morning, Adil would wake to find deep scratches etched across her arms, marks that seemed to appear from nowhere. Her laughter faded, replaced by haunting whispers that echoed through their home. "He is here, watching, waiting," Zoya would murmur in a voice that was not her own, her eyes vacant, as if a darkness had taken residence within her. Adil's heart raced with fear and confusion. He could not understand what was happening to the woman he loved. Desperation clawed at Adil as he sought answers. One evening, as the wind howled outside, he found himself pleading with Zoya, shaking her awake from the depths of her nightmares. "Who did this to you? Speak to me." But her gaze remained distant, her body trembling as if she were caught in a storm of her own making. The village, once a sanctuary, now whispered of dark forces at play, and with each passing day the shadows deepened. Tragedy struck when Adil's newborn son was found lifeless in his cradle. The village mourned, but the sorrow that enveloped Adil was suffocating. His mother, too, collapsed without reason, her eyes frozen in terror. The village elder, a man wise with age, gathered the townsfolk and spoke gravely of black magic. "Adil, seek help before it's too late," he urged, his voice laced with concern. Adil's heart sank. He could feel the weight of the accusations, the fear that had seeped into the very soil of their home. In his anguish, Adil sought the aid of a spiritual healer, an old mystic known for her ability to break curses. The mystic arrived, her presence commanding yet soothing, and she immediately sensed the malevolence that lurked within Adil's home. "This is no ordinary curse," she said softly, her eyes piercing through the veil of despair. "It was cast by someone close to you, someone who wished to see you fall." The realization struck Adil like a bolt of lightning. His hands trembled as he whispered, "Rayhan." As the mystic began her ritual, the air crackled with energy, and Zoya's body convulsed as a shadowy figure emerged from within her. The house shook, and an unseen force fought back against the mystic's incantations, unwilling to be cast out. "You have no place here. Leave or be destroyed," the mystic commanded, her voice rising above the chaos. With a final ear-piercing shriek, the entity vanished into the night, leaving Zoya collapsed in Adil's arms, unconscious, yet breathing. With the curse broken, the village slowly returned to its peaceful rhythm. The sun shone again, and the crops began to revive, but the scars of betrayal ran deep. Adil, forever changed by the loss of his son and mother, could not shake the feeling of anguish that clung to his heart. He turned to the mystic seeking solace. "I have lost too much. My son, my mother, all because of jealousy." The mystic looked at him with compassion. "Jealousy is the real curse, my son. The only way to truly heal is through forgiveness." As the days turned to weeks, Adil stood at the edge of the village, gazing at the horizon. The weight of his brother's betrayal hung heavy in the air, yet a flicker of understanding began to blossom within him. Rayhan, consumed by guilt and fear, had fled the village, leaving behind a shattered bond that could never be repaired. Adil contemplated the fate of his brother, realizing that jealousy had not only destroyed their relationship, but had also cost him dearly. In the quiet of that moment, as the birds chirped and the village returned to its daily routine, Adil felt the stirrings of forgiveness deep within his heart. The path to healing would be long and arduous, but he understood that the true power lay not in vengeance, but in letting go. The horizon stretched before him, a promise of new beginnings, and as he took a deep breath, he whispered a silent prayer for Rayhan, hoping that one day they might find a way back to each other.